Hello, hello, hello. Hello, who's out there? Anybody out there? Anybody out there? I got a notification. Yay. How is everybody? We're going to talk about being woke. I got called that. Supposed to be an insult. Hi, Glenn. I'm good. I'm just exhausted. I've been exhausted and I have to tell you what's going on with me right now. Oh, I have a verse for Magas, and I'm gonna pray for Magas, and we're gonna talk about wokeness. I don't even know. Never heard of it, honestly. And I pulled up something, and it says it's a cult. Yeah, so the cultists are calling us cultists, and like, I'm not like in a group. I'm trying to find more of my tribe though, and I think I have done that in going to Coda, and I didn't find it at church, unfortunately. Even the Universalist Church, but I found some of my tribe at Coda. I found some of my tribe at going to Canvas. So I met a really cool lady on Saturday going to Canvas for a local Democrat, and she's just awesome. She was feeding the homeless on Sunday, and she told me she goes to guard LGBTQ protesters, and she's like, the Proud Boys go to those, and she goes to protect as a LGBTQ ally. So she was really cool. Her name's Carrie. I almost went again Sunday, but I didn't. I just needed a day I needed a down day to chill. And I was still involved in create this debate on Facebook, and I just bowed out of that, and I'll tell you all about that, because it's no use arguing with them. I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic that a lot of the polls are inaccurate. I'm optimistic that Kamala is going to win, and happy about that. And I want to go to the inauguration. So we'll see about that. I'm hoping. I want to go. I'm so excited. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, and I just thought of this a second ago. There was a verse I shared on I didn't say, but they were probably like, that's for you. But there's a verse in Proverbs that says, even a fool is considered wise if he holds his tongue. Even a fool is considered wise if he holds his tongue. Hey, Brenda! But Magas just can't shut up. I'm sorry, but no, they can't. They just can't. They just can't hush. They're loud and proud, and I'm tired. I'm tired, y'all. I'm choosing my battles. I bowed out of this thing on Facebook. We're going back and forth. Roy joined in. Lucretia and Roy, that I know for a couple years now from van life, they are nice. They are nice. But they're really in the majority. They're in the minority. They're in the minority. They're in the minority of these MAGAs, because they are mean. And I got No fear mongering here, Glenn. No. That's what they're, oh, goodness. There's fear mongering on both sides, but more so on they're all they're very fearful. They're afraid. They're afraid of everything. It's crazy. First rule of friendship. I don't agree. And I know, it's like they think you do you, I do me. Yeah. They think, well, Roy doesn't, some people are like that, Tim, but I don't think we shouldn't talk about it. Like, but we've gone back and forth on Facebook, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Lucretia's sister is on my side. And I'm like, girl, I'm glad you're here. I don't want to be alone here with all these. And there was one, Maga, that was me. She called me a nutcase. And it's just like, what did I say? That I don't own a gun, so I'm a nutcase. She called me stupid. That's stupid. Basically calling me stupid. You would be afraid to go for personal safety. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be ruled by fear. I'm not. I've had a problem with anxiety, and this y'all is bringing me out of my, my fear. It's bringing me out of my anxiety. I feel better than I have in months. I do. You can't live your life in fear. I was afraid to travel in my RV for a year, but I did it. I was afraid to leave Georgia. I was afraid to sell my house. I was afraid to be homeless, and I was homeless. I was homeless and penniless for the whole weekend. Thankfully, some friends helped me, and then my money from the sale of my house went in on the Monday. There's no such thing as okay. They're all crooked as fun. But there's the worst one. And I'm sorry, but yeah. And I'm saying it. I was afraid to say it. And I don't know for sure, but I'm saying I've studied the Bible for years. And I don't know. Nobody knows when the end time, somehow even within the Trinity, God says that even the Son, even Jesus, probably because he was on earth, doesn't know the date or time of like the second coming and all that. If you believe in any of that, I'm not sure what I believe of that anymore, but Trump fits all the bill of the Antichrist because he's deceiving millions of Christians. And it's insane that he shouldn't even be allowed to run, yeah. And I know, I think a lot of my friends like Tim, thank you for being here, Tim, by the way. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Tim is one of my original moderators that stayed. Yeah, there's not been any race like this. Yeah. You can say and I think it's very judgy, really, to say all of them are crooked. Christians believe everybody's a sinner. Everybody's crooked. We are all like sheep have gone astray. We've turned each one to their own way. We're all crooked. That's supposed to be the Christian view. So, you want a gun, I didn't buy it. My daughter got it for me. I never took it out of the plastic wrap. Had it for years. Yeah, we were talking about guns on Lucretia's Facebook. And no offense to Roy, but like he can go on and on and on. He doesn't care that 34 felony convictions. A lot of us are, all of us are sinners. Nobody's perfect. And I was listening to this pastor this morning, and it was very, very interesting and very good on TikTok. I was listening to this guy on TikTok, and he was like, neither one of them is going to save you. And he was saying they all have done bad. Every single president has done bad by the veterans. You know, Democrat or Republican, he says they're all done bad by the Republicans. He is against Donald Trump, and he was talking about the racist things. He just had this comedian say in New York. That's what everybody's talking about now. And that's why, I'm like, why are we on here on Facebook, on Lucretia's Facebook, arguing about what Donald Trump said about the injecting yourself with disinfectant during the pandemic? Why are we talking about that when this just happened yesterday? And this is just going nowhere. We're not getting through to them, and it's just wasting my time, wasting their time. And I said y'all last week that I added up all the followers I have on all the social medias. They're below. And by the way, they're linked below. Twitter, 2 Facebooks, my personal Facebook, my Redheaded Writing Hood Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. Altogether, I have over 7,000 followers. Okay, I'm going to work on posting things to those. I even started, I need to work on it a little bit more. My Pinterest, and did a Harris Walls little, what do you call it? Section, I guess. I forget what they're called now. I haven't been on Pinterest in forever. But anyways, links are below. And I said, I'm done, with all due respect, Roy, I'm done with this. And he came in late. And then there was some, like the mega, the mean ones I call maggot. It was horrible. Yeah. I didn't know you had guns, but I knew you see all these, I'm saying, like, the group I was in, I was quiet about it. I've had this shirt since 2020. First place I went was to my brother's. I couldn't wear it there. I haven't worn it. I haven't worn it out of fear. And that's why, I don't believe in fear. I'm wearing it. Okay. I got it in 2020 when she became the vice president. And, I'm done with being afraid. Yay, Brenda. Yay. I don't have time to play my guitars. I'd rather play them than shoot guns. Yeah. I've shot a gun too. My ex was totally into them, and they started talking about AR-15s, thinking, I don't know a damn thing about guns. I'm a stupid woke liberal. And I'm like, I've shot a gun. I was in the Republican Party for 20 years. That's what my video is about. My ex-husband had one of those. I don't know if it was AR-15. He had one of those ones, and he bought back in the 90s, probably. I don't know if he still has it. Yeah, I counted before I moved out of my ex's house. I counted them. It's in one of my journals. I don't know. I think it was at least 10. I think he had about 5 handguns and 5 rifles. And one of them is a semi-automatic one. And he used to load his bullets. He used to load his own bullets, like you said about that, $100 down the drain. Yeah, he used to make his own bullets. And he was a hunter. He never hunted. But yeah. Got a license. I used to go shooting. He tried to get the kids to shoot. He would shoot. He took my son. He would do things on purpose to try to scare me. And so I just not respond to fear mongering. Oh my goodness. He loved to do that. He took when I was in the hospital giving birth to Claire. Yeah, it was when I was in the hospital giving birth to Claire. He took them all behind our house shooting, and Ian was not even 3 years old yet. And he shot a gun. He probably hasn't shot a gun since, I don't think. He's a Democrat like me. I don't know. I don't think he's even interested in it. But yeah, took them out there. That's when they found our little cat, Josh. And so yeah, he did that. And then when I was out in California I took half the kids one time we went. I always took at least some of the kids, at least one of the kids, like the youngest. But this time I had the two oldest and the youngest, and he had the two middle kids. That time to scare me, he's like, I moved the trampoline by the pool. The pool was 4 feet deep. That was very dangerous and stupid. But if they would go like a cannonball, I guess they'd be okay. They probably would hit the bottom though. But very dangerous, and he would do these things to fearmonger me. So, and then a lot of them in the Republican Party in Georgia they're only concerned, they don't care about his sexual assault things. They don't care, now they don't even care about January 6th and the 140 officers that were brutalized, the people that died. They don't care about any of that. Some of them only care about the one issue that he's anti-abortion, and that's it. And I wasn't informed when I was in it that is very dangerous for women who like miscarry and then they can't get a D&C and then they get an infection. So I wasn't informed. And my mom and dad were Democrats for years. But back in the 70s, I guess they used to cancel each other out. I remember my sister joking, they cancel each other out. She loved that. But, and I don't know if it was because of Nixon. I kind of wonder now. I don't know what it was that changed my dad, because he is very misogynistic. He was narcissistic. And I don't know if it might have been Nixon. I'm wondering now what it was, how she convinced him. I don't know. My dad was very much going along with others, and I think probably their group of friends were all Democrats. I'm thinking it would be more that than just my mom convincing him. But because you would have to know my dad. My mom wouldn't be enough to convince him. But anyways, then they were Democrats. They never owned a gun. The fear mongering at Lucretia's was oh so big. I mean, her whole post was everybody, you don't realize what's about to happen. Pray, pray, pray. It was like the whole post was. And I jokingly said, her sister was like being sarcastic like me. She was like, what's about to happen? So I responded back to her sister and said, we're about to have the first woman president of the United States. And she's a badass and she's going to do a great job. And she loves the people. And, she's for women's rights. She's for healthcare. She's going to, she has a plan for the economy. She doesn't have concepts of a plan. So, yeah, come up and play, Brenda. Come up here and pray and play. I'll play. So you can say whatever you want about like all politicians are crooked. It sounds like what Paul was saying when Paul was in here. All politicians are crooked. None of them care about us. Blah 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 blah. You can say all that, or or like they're all the same, and they're not all the same. They're not all the same. And Harris has morals, values, restraint, convictions, whatever you want to say. She is a Christian, and Donald Trump is not. And all the Christians being behind him is just unfathomable. But it's what it says in the Bible. He will deceive even the elect. It's what it says about the Antichrist in the Bible. Think about that, please. How do you know he's going to do what you want him to do? He's not. He doesn't give a rat's ass about you. Doesn't give a rat's ass about you. And he lies every freaking word out of his mouth. There was a border bill that he shot down. I mean, it's just like, this guy I was listening to this morning was upset about the money going out of the country, and he was upset about the government's care of the veterans, but he was not for Trump, because he shouldn't even, in my opinion, he should not even be allowed to run. I didn't think he was going to be able to run again. And I kind of, I honestly, you guys, had my head in the sand. I was just like, 2020 was the first time I voted Democratic, and I hate, I heard Michelle Obama say this. I hate politics, you guys. I hate it. I hate it. That's why this was such a hard decision for me to start talking about it, because I hate it, and it triggers me. And especially with this god awful maggot. He's a maggot. Frank person said, if you want to read it, it's on my Instagram, said, because he was talking about, and he came to my page first, and I already had blocked him on, and it's not somebody I really even know. I met him at my brother-in-law's funeral. He was good friends with my brother-in-law. And, talking about, he posted something about the Gen Zers going to cancel out their parents' vote. And it was really quite stupid, because you don't know who people are going to vote for. I like to watch Don Lemon on Instagram, and he goes and interviews these people. He'll go up to them, and you think what they're going to say. And he's interviewed black people for Trump, and then he was in Georgia. He was on the Georgia, I think, Florida borderline, right? He was on the border, and there were these old men there, and they said they were voting for Harris, and it's just like, you never know. But anyways, so this maggot says, oh, these Gen Zers, they'll be sorry when they have to go fight a war. And I'm like thinking about Gen Z. My kids are all different, some of them are millennials and some of them are Gen Z. And it just so happens that my youngest two that were military and are military are Gen Z. And so I said, oh, funny you should say this, Frank. And he came to my page first, and I went over there, but I have him blocked now because it was just god awful. He says, so I said that, my daughter in Pennsylvania is for Harris, and she was Army. And they have a lot more courage than Trump, who weaseled his way out of the armed forces. What do you think about that? Having served your country, and as an immigrant, having served your country. Tim, what do you think about that? What do you think about his bone spurs, Trump's bone spurs? I don't see how any veteran can vote for him. I don't see how any woman, I don't see how any black person, it's beyond comprehension. They have a strong delusion. That's what I honestly believe. And like, I'm not going to talk them out of it. I'm not going to talk them out of it. I'm going to, I'm going to talk about it on my platforms, but I'm not going to go into any more chats. And I go and will say one thing, like, because the Christian singer that I was following, Danny Goki, put something, vote for issues, vote for, and he's saying, he's basically saying vote for Trump. And I like April Ajoy. She has Instagram. I'm going to start dropping some links. But anyways, this guy I was listening to this morning was very interesting and knowledgeable. And he was a pastor. He's a pastor in Philly, and I don't even know what his name was. But he was very interesting, and he was very knowledgeable, and he feeds the poor. And he said, here in Philly, there's these homeless vets on the street that he goes out and feeds them. And he said he didn't agree with that, but he was like, that is Congress's decision. That's what this guy said. And and I'm just getting more informed, Tim. So I haven't checked this yet, but he's like, that's not even the president's decision. That's Congress that makes that decision. So you're talking about all the money going over there. That's Congress's decision. And they call Kamala the border czar and blah, 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 blah. When has any vice president, you all don't understand, this is what I'm hearing people say, and it's like, when have you heard any vice president that did issues or, they're just there in case something happens to the president. They're really just like, they don't do anything, so you're saying she didn't do anything. It's because she was the vice president. She wasn't the president. Your guy has already had a chance, had 4 years, and he didn't do that great. That's why it's too hard to talk to them. He didn't do that awesome a job, like y'all have selective memory, and he didn't do that great a job. Let's give someone else a chance. She hasn't been president yet. He's already been president, and he needs to go to jail now. And he's senile. Also, he's out of his freaking mind. There's nothing you could ever say, and that's why I'm like, okay, I'm done over here arguing about the whether he said the bleach thing or not. We all heard him say it. I mean, come on. Oh my goodness. And you're just going to totally ignore January 6th and like, it's like, here, no one will see that. When it comes to Trump, you're like this. I'm not going to see anything bad with Trump. And then with her, she's under a microscope. She's under a freaking microscope. Oh, she didn't dot her T over here. She didn't. Like, oh my goodness. And he was saying like, they burned Minneapolis. I'm like, what the heck? Now Roy's coming up with stuff on walls, and I'm like, good luck with that. Good luck with that. He's the most squeaky clean politician I've seen in a long time. I mean, he's the coach. He had his students endorsing him. He's a teacher. It's who lies less. It's who lies less. Politicians are like car salesmen. They go for the dollar. Not every one is bad, but I haven't met one yet that I would trust. I think it's a very cynical view, and it's a sad view. And the Magas are very, very, very sad and depressing. I mean, I feel pity for them. Yeah, well, and yet they say she has no experience, Tim. And yet they say she has no experience when she's been there and in on everything, but she really doesn't have a lot of power. Do you really have nothing to say? Are you really able to keep quiet? I shared my Magaverse. Even a fool is considered wise if he holds his tongue. But can they hold their tongue? I think, Tim, you've got a channel, so you can share your views on your channel. Roy's got a channel. He can share his view on his channel. Lucretia's got a channel. She can share her views on her channel. I'd like to go over there and see. But, like I said, fear. I'm sharing my views on my channel. Not going to respond to the fear mongering. And when she wins, I really want to go to the inauguration. So, and I found a lot of new great channels, and I really like the new evangelicals. Obama wants to run the 4th term. That's your opinion. I've never, ever, okay, drop the video in the chat where he said that. He does not, and neither does Michelle. That's, I'll say it nicely, baloney. If you believe that, this is what they're saying to me in Lucretia's chat. If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you. If you believe that, if you believe that, I got some swampland to sell you. So what about the border bill, Tim? What about the border bill that they shot down? Trump shot it down so he could run on that platform. He didn't say if there was something about it that was wrong, why it was shot down. Why didn't he say that in the debate where she crushed him? It was so great to watch. That's what he deserves. He deserves to be crushed. He deserves to go to a home for the aged, our prison. That's where he should go. He should go to a home for the old. Like, that you want this crazy, insane, immoral, 34 felony convictions, a sexual assaulter, a liar, a cheat, won't even accept the results of the election. It's just like, I can't argue. There's no, you can't bring up one issue. Like, they're over there talking about the chlorine, him injecting the disinfectant. He made a farce of that, and then yet people will believe things. Like, Char was in here thinking he handled the pandemic well, and it's just like, what news sources are you listening to? And I just feel like, you're going to believe what you want to believe. And I know that, like I said, the ones I know, like my ex-husband, my brother on the other end of the country for the LAPD, stop using what? She is not exactly the same as Biden, and Biden didn't do anything that hurt me. And I'm for women's rights. Women that, I didn't know this when I was against abortion. Women that miscarry are not allowed to have a DNC. I'm for women's rights. There's nothing you could say that would make me vote for that orange piece of shit. Nothing. Yes, he went bankrupt 7 times. Right. But anyways, we're supposed to be talking about woke. I put the thing on my community tab about being woke. So what is woke? Is it bad? But yeah. And What is being woke? Let's see what Google says. Woke, the African American English synonym for the general American English word awake, has since the 1930s, or since that long, really, been used to refer to awareness of social policies, issues affecting African Americans, often in the constructions stay woke. Beginning in the 2010s, it came to be used to refer to a broader awareness of social inequalities, such as racial injustice, sexism, and denial of LGBTQ rights. Woke has also been used as shorthand for some ideas of the American left involving identity politics and social justice, as white privilege and reparations for slavery in the United States. Okay. Did you not watch the first debate? And it's crazy that how, they said that Joe is too old, and yet Trump is 78, is not that much younger than Joe. That's BS. He said that he would continue to run. Yeah, he did, but then he stepped down. That will be historical. I think Trump will go down in history as the worst president ever of the United States of America. The worst. I mean, who has had 34 felony convictions? The BS is about Obama wanting to run again. No, that's, Trump is the one that wants to stay in and be a dictator. He said it. He has said it. Pelosi needs to go. You know what? I was brainwashed by my brother, who's LAPD, who is misogynist and racist, and my ex that's for Trump is misogynist and racist. I won't have you talking that way about her. Don't say that in my chat, Tim. You know who's an old orange? Don't get me started. She is a badass too. She gets the job done. I watched a thing on Pelosi. I didn't know anything about her. She has 5 kids. She's Catholic. She raised her kids. She had to put up with Trump's BS. Talk about BS for 4 years, Tim. She had to put up with it. He gave that fat, talk about a fat, I'm so angry. A fat idiot who my brother, I used to listen to him. That's how brainwashed I was. I was in this damn stinking cult. Christian nationalism is a cult. I'm a Christian. I'm against Christian nationalism. It's a stinking cult. They're not Christian. They're ungodly and evil. There, I said it. My brother was always putting down Pelosi, and he has this bullshit flashing up on his computer about, we dodged a bullet because Melania is so beautiful and Hillary's so ugly. Stupid bullshit on his computer that I had to look at while I'm sitting at his kitchen table sorting out his wife's medication because she's dying of cancer, and he makes me look at that shit, yet I'm so nice I don't wear my shirt. Don't even go there. Okay, bye. Goodbye. And you will not be a moderator anymore. The BS is Donald Trump. And poor Pelosi had to put up with him giving, because because Limbaugh would say crap like that about Pelosi, and Trump makes her be there while he gives Limbaugh the Congressional Medal of Honor. For what? For being a fat idiot? May he rest in peace. Maybe he knows the truth now that he's gone. So yeah, I watched a thing on Pelosi and it was very good. And I was like, oh my gosh, I let my brother brainwash me about Nancy Pelosi. And someone said, can't even have a decent conversation. Yeah, because you called Pelosi a hag. Why can't you be civil, Tim? Get out of here. Go. You called Pelosi a hag. That's ugly. That's maggot shit. And it won't be tolerated here. Like people coming in here saying, it's like, people coming in here saying I said female genitalia in my devotion. And I'm just like, you're showing your crap. Yeah, you can't. Why can you not have a decent conversation, Tim? Why? Why do you have to call names? Why do you have to call Pelosi names? What did Pelosi do to you? What did she do to you? Strong women intimidate you, Tim? Yeah, you can go. You can go with your BS elsewhere. Obama wants to run a fourth term. Anybody, drop that video in my chat. I dare you. Drop the video in the chat where Obama wants to run for a fourth term. Yeah, drop the video in the chat. It would be a third term, not a fourth term, too. I want to read the poem about my mom. No, no one will be doing that, You got a lot of freaking nerve calling her names when you're going to vote for a piece of orange fat shit who's a felon and a sex offender and a racist and a misogynist who should not even be allowed to run. He should be in jail. I'm sorry. I feel passionate. I'm going to say it. You got your channel, Tim. Go. I dare you. Just like Lucretia, Roy, Tim, go talk about your crap on your channel. You won't do it. Thanks, Brenda. Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. And do I care? No, I don't care. And you come in here, and he didn't have to come in here. He comes in here and says, friends don't talk politics. Is that not hypocritical, y'all? Is that not hypocritical? I knew where he stood. I knew where Roy stood. I knew where Linda stood. Linda, the one that called me woke, I knew what she was. I should show you guys. She would call me, and I knew, and I didn't talk about it with her. And, that's wrong. It's too important. And I'm done being fake. I was being fake too. And I was pretending I'm okay with that. And I'm not. I'm not okay with it. Friends don't let friends vote for Trump. How about that? If they can help it. But you probably can't. But let's pray. And I'll pray for Tim. I will pray for Tim. But he has no right. He doesn't need to be coming in here and calling names. And I'm thankful. I know now because I watched that thing on Pelosi. It's just like, you don't like someone's policy, so you call them names. That's really mature. And, you know, I say the things about Trump. I mean, they're true. He's a felon. I don't like him, you know, but you can sit there and say that, like my brother didn't like her. But, you know, you sit in there and call her names in my chat, and you don't even have anything like specific to say why. You know, you don't have anything to say. Like, what did she do? What did she do to hurt you? What did she do to you? She didn't do anything to you. And it's really immature for you to call her that. You guys, I'm not going to say any names. I still have, oh, maybe two. But that one won't, maybe three. I still have a mega, I have all these moderators that don't come very often, but I still have a mega, at least one. And the people that want peace really don't talk about it. You know, if you genuinely want peace, you won't bring it up. Oh, this is from Hex Sign on Instagram. No, I didn't make it. Someone said that to me at a rally I went to in Aurora. So, yeah, it's from Hex Sign. He's a artist. Let me see. Brad Heckman. But people are acting weird. Yeah. And I'm hopeful that she's going to win too. I said over there at Lucretia's, I'm like, well, if he doesn't win, so this I told you this nasty maggot, I'm name calling now, but this is my channel. He has some nerve to come in on my channel and, you know, this is my channel. He needs to go talk about it on his channel. If he wants to call Pelosi a hag, go do it on your own channel. See how that goes over, Tim. And so here's Hex Signs. My H is broken too. I need to get my keyboard fixed. And my I and my O. And then I can sing along with commercial jingles. I like all the songs. There's them on both sides, but of course I listen to the ones like "Kiss My Rump, Donald Trump." There's this little couple. Wait, I'll share the link. But this is an unprecedented thing. This, like, there's never been an election like this. Never been an election like this. It's crazy. It's Sandy and Richard Riccardi original. It's on their channel. Check it out. But like, it's never been like this. I used to watch the Brady Bunch all the time. Yeah. I don't know that I'll do that with Tim. Like, I've been friends with Tim like since I first. So Tim lives down in Southern California by my brother, but I didn't meet him. I think I knew of him before I went up to Oregon, but my brother kicked me off his property after his wife passed away, and I was glad to go, because he's just mean and a jerk. And I've been in denial all these years because he abused, he would hit, not sexual abuse, but he would hit me. He was a bully. And then he became a police officer. He was a bully to me. He would hit me and my parents wouldn't do nothing. He wouldn't beat me up, but he would hit me hard and he would hurt me and my parents would do nothing about it. Right now, I wish I had hit him back. I wish I had slugged him. I wish I had hit him back. I wish I had. I wish I had beat the crap out of him, but he was always bigger than me. He's like 6'4", and I just finally confronted him about it. But anyways, I was at my brother's. My sister-in-law was dying. That was in 2020, December 2020 to April 2021. During that time, I also went back to St. Louis. I'll drop a video in the chat that goes through some of the places. Wait, maybe I can find it. Let's see. But I'm not really concerned about Tim. He would never come over here anymore. I still had him as a moderator, but he would never be over here. And he really was, Roy and Tim were good at being neutral, but they're too friendly. They're friendly with all the bullies. They bullied the people that bullied me. And so that's really not cool. Anyways, they really shouldn't be okay with that. And so that's what I was thinking about that recently too. It's like, there's times when you can be neutral. Like, there's been, I don't know how many elections have there been. There are times when you can be like, oh, I can't decide between these two candidates, because they might be very similar. And they both have faults. None of them is perfect. They're probably not going to fulfill all of their promises to you. But there's never been a time like today when the choice should be clear. It should be a no-brainer. It shouldn't be that hard. But it's just, there's never been a time like this, you guys. And it's just kind of like saying, and it was the same thing with me getting bullied in the YouTube community. It was wrong. And my friends could not stand up to these people and say, they didn't want to be put out of the community. So they couldn't stand up to these people and say, hey, that's wrong the way you're treating Red. I mean, they would be like, I'm neutral. I'm not taking sides. And, even somebody, I won't say her name, another older van lifer, you guys probably would know her if I said her name. She is on my channel. Hint, 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 hint. Oh, I have this on my welcome to my channel, but okay. So even her, this older van life lady, she's about Lindy's age. She started to get on my side, but they got onto her and she, changed her mind. She even did a whole video on what you should do when you have a conflict that was on my side. She was like, this is wrong for all of you. And she got the bully to take down his second video, because in his second video, he got people all on his side and put all their links under. All these people hate red. It was the We Hate Red club. And thankfully, this person, she did do that. She took down her video, though, that was siding with me, because they all attacked her, especially the Amy person, who I recently got to take down her video. They all got onto her, so she took down that video. But she did, I think, because he went to her meetup at Courtside, and she got him to take down the second video right after he put it up, which was January. But those videos, and it's because of my passivity and my fear that those videos about me were up for 2 freaking years, getting 500 and 800 views, because I didn't speak up, because I was scared. And it's like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not. Yeah, you need to take sides. I mean, like, if it's, there are times you need to take sides. You need to be like, and it's like, it was the same thing, like in the time in World War II and Hitler, when they're killing all their stories, you know, like The Hiding Place, Corrie ten Boom. These people, they had to take a stand, because this, like, that's wrong. They're killing people. That's wrong, you know, but it takes courage. It takes courage. And that's why I'm saying, like, you Magas on YouTube, speak about it on your channel. I dare you. They won't. They don't. And I have one. I might have two. I don't know. But there's the ones that are what my other friend on YouTube that she's in Georgia. I don't know what she is, but she wouldn't say. She also wouldn't argue with you. She's very sweet, but you know, some of them are nice, but I really feel like they're in the majority, and the ones that are loud and proud are the ones that you're going to come into contact with, you know. Oh, you've been thinking about doing a YouTube? It's not for the faint at heart. It's not for the faint at heart. I'm telling you, there are so many loonies. There's so many. Oh, goodness. There's so many, all sorts of people across the board on YouTube. Anybody can make a channel. You know, it's really easy, you know, anybody can. And, you know, they're all over the world, and they're loopy, you know, the potheads, the trolls, the bullies. I had someone, and I felt bad. And this took me a while to speak up and say something, because I don't want to be mean. I'm still a Christian. I need to have some restraint. I need to show self-control. I need to be kind. But there was someone, and, you know, and he was a very, very nice man, I guess, but he kept commenting on me. Oh, you beautiful goddess. Well, and then he started emailing. I sent him a book, and I was just like, how do I just try to be like, thanks for your support, you know, like, not getting personal, but he would go on and on. Beauty goddess, beauty queen, blah, blah, blah. It made me so uncomfortable. And then he started sending me songs in the email. And I finally said, you know, it's never going to be anything, but we're friends. And please, you need to stop with this, or I'm going to have to block you. And I haven't heard anything. I didn't have to block him, thankfully. I haven't heard anything more from him, but he kept going on, and I was just like, this guy really makes me uncomfortable, and I don't want to be mean, but, and it just, in a way, I'm like, oh, okay, is this my karma? Because I would do that to the YouTuber I was crushing on, who wasn't the one that actually made the video about me, but that was his friend. It was his friend. But the YouTube guy I was crushing on, I was on his, and I was joking around, but really he started it all because he was on this dating game on this YouTube channel, and then I was on it, but I lost. Just a flute video shot. Oh, I have one. Speaking of, I don't play that well, actually, and I learned to play a long time ago. But I could do a vid. I wonder if I have. I think I might have the things. So there's fingering charts, and when you're learning to play, it's something like, I always say, like, I need to practice more. I need to, and I start learning songs, but I don't learn the whole song like that when I do the obladi oblada. And then I was listening to Billie Eilish today, and I was like, yeah, I started learning When the Party's Over, and then I didn't finish it. But we need to pray, and I need to say my mom poem was the one I was going to say today. But I'll say some more poems too. And I need to make my list. And I'm going to pray for Magas, and I'm going to pray for Tim. I'm going to pray for Tim. So anyways, where was I? So, but like, the time when you don't have to, when it doesn't matter about choosing a side is like when you choose a side at the restaurant. Like, do you want mashed potatoes or macaroni and cheese? Or, that's when it doesn't make a difference. But when it comes to the side against racism or not racism, or healthcare for women or not healthcare for women, how can you not? I've heard a couple of people say, Harmony, I'll share her Instagram again, Harmony Dust, say she wants to be on the right side of history. And she's the one that shared the video. I'm going to share that one again. Oh, she has one where she's dressed as the Mad Hatter. Cool. I need to show my my pictures from when we dressed up as Alice in Wonderland, and I was the Red Queen, and then we dressed up as the Wizard of Oz, and I was the Tin Man. It was fun. That was when my youngest was about 9 and 10. But yeah, I could do a video where I talk about it, but did I share here's the one about Diddy, Bill Cosby, and Trump and what they have in common. But what all, I want to share the Pelosi video too, because I didn't know. You learn all you can about January 6th, you guys. I think oh gosh, I would hope that every American that would listen to all the stuff on January 6th would be convinced not to vote for Trump. But I'm not that naive. But what Pelosi went through, she tried to call Pence. He didn't answer the phone. She was going to make him the president because of what Trump did and what she had to do on that day. I mean, they were going to kill her. They were going to hang Pence They had the noose up for, I mean, it's insane. It's insane that this man is able to run again. It is ridiculous. It's insane. And there are a lot of people that are going to be unhappy if he won, but those aren't the dangerous people. What I want, and I know they have stuff set up because Biden's already said, I don't think he's going to accept it, whatever it is, because he never does. The dangerous ones are the Magas with all the guns and the AR-15s and and they say that to me and it's like, I didn't say that they don't have AR-15s, but are you trying to say to me that you think the Democrats have more AR-15s than the Magas? I got some swampland to sell you. Yeah, it's more insane. Yeah. They're the violent ones, and they continue to, and that those were the two assassination attempts. Those were Republicans, So, yeah, it's just. Did I share the Welcome to Red's channel video? I don't know if I did. Here's it made it as like a channel trailer, sort of, that tells all the story. But so, yeah, I was starting to say I didn't meet Tim until I went up to the Oregon meetup. That was like the second meetup I went to. But that mean YouTuber that I was crushing on, he sang to me on his live, and that was so mean. And it's like, I would never do. That's why, like, I tried to be very gentle with this guy because I knew he was crushing on me, but it was just like so awkward and made me so uncomfortable. And, and then he had my email because he got my book and I mailed him my book, and I tried to be really, like, thank you for your support. Not be like, I don't think I wrote love red. I didn't even want to write love red, nothing like that. Because I don't like to lead people on, but the guy that started off getting everybody to bully me, he was mean. And I feel like he purposely did that. He sung to me on his live because I was flirt with him on his lives, and he would have me on his lives. And he would hardly ever come to my lives, but sometimes he would. But he wouldn't come up on panel on my lives. He was just mean. And then I realized, oh my gosh, pretty sure he's a narcissist. Just like my ex, very subtle, covert type narcissist, just mean. Just the covert type narcissist is the most dangerous, is dangerous type of narcissist. No, malignant is one of the most dangerous types, and that's what Donald Trump is. He's a malignant narcissist. But yeah, that is that. Someone I've been watching lately I like is Tennessee. This is new ones I found. Tennessee Brando. He's good. Woke people. I usually do write it on all of them. I write it on all of them. I write it on all of them, Glenn. But yeah, every single one of these people, like I knew, like they might not have really known exactly where I was or how strongly I felt. I know Linda didn't. And Linda was freaking clueless. Linda messaged me on TikTok. She messaged me on TikTok before, so she really started it too. I'm trying to think. The only one I went to theirs was Lucretia. I know Lucretia is not going to be nasty, not going to be mean and nasty, and Roy isn't. Um, but every single one of them, they started it basically. They started it. So what happened? My chat just disappeared. I don't know what the heck that was about. But this is a channel I recently found, and it's part of the Midas Touch Network. Tennessee Brando. He's quite the Southern, yeah, he's a real Southern gentleman. Yeah, I was just thinking about too, like I realized my aunt, who's mega, who's Southern gentleman, supposedly, husband turned her mega. He calls himself a Southern gentleman. He says the same sort of things that Trump says. He would say, I like beautiful women. I like beautiful women. And he has nude. She lets him. He looks at pornography. I'm like, this is one. I'm less, I'm way less conservative than I used to be. But, and he had nude paintings of women. And talk about awkward. He had a redhead, and that nude painting is hanging in their bedroom. How creepy is that? At least it was last time. It's been a long time since I've been there. Maybe 2014. Creepy, creepy, creepy. But I'm like, oh, I like beautiful women. Like, okay, creepy. Anything like, I'll let you in on a secret. Anybody who focuses on your appearance too much, to me, that's a red flag to me right off the bat. That's all they're talking about. It's like, I'm a person, and it's still, I'm like, well, at least I'm not that old. They're just saying she's an old biddy. But yeah, but still, a man, even a woman, sometimes, if and well, because I've had passes made at me by women also, but even if there's anybody who focuses too much solely on appearance and how someone looks, it's a red flag. It's a red flag to me. I'd say it's a red flag because there's a lot more to people than how they look. Don't judge a book by its cover, right? So, but yeah, Tennessee Brando. And then one I just found, and I didn't know April Ajoy was on the New Evangelicals. And so I'm excited. I just found that. Oh, and let me share the one where they're interviewing. This was really good. I think I shared it on my community tab. Politics Girl is one I just found. So this is Politics Girl interviewing the New Evangelicals. There was just a sound outside. What was that? Did you guys hear that? Someone yelling. Yeah. Looks overrated. Yeah, it's what's inside that counts. And cause I've just, I've had that all my life. And I had, oh goodness. I had stalkers at school. I had stalkers in Boca. My father-in-law, for one. I joked to my, oh gosh, he said something to my daughters one time, because he used to always watch me, because I lived next door to my ex and his family. I lived next door to my husband and his family from the time I was 12 and he was 15. And so we're visiting Boca Raton. We usually would go for Thanksgiving. And my father-in-law is saying something to my daughters. Well, I used to watch her practicing her rifle, because I was in color guard and I did the rifle and the flags and all that. And one time there was a house being built, and I wrote this boy's name I like Susan, and I think his name was Chris, in the cement, and he went over there and read it and stuff like that. And so he was telling my daughter something like that, like he was watching me practice. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, your grandfather's been stalking me most of my life. Creepy, 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 creepy narcissists. So yeah. And I wasn't saying, like, because I said something in my video that I recently did, the religion and politics video, about MAGA and narcissists. I'm not saying all MAGA are narcissists. And my father-in-law, I don't even know. He probably does like Trump, probably because he's rich and he'll get tax cuts. But he usually wouldn't talk about it. But my mother-in-law is super conservative, super loves Trump, super loves Trump, like my ex. And she is racist, sadly. So, but yeah, I had just a lot of creeper. I had some bad experiences and some close calls. Oh my goodness. One time, and they told us, I worked in a mall, and they told us don't walk out to the parking lot alone. And I would always walk out to the parking lot alone, until one night some guy was following me, and I was like, oh crap, and just walk really fast, get your car, get in, lock the door. My mom always taught me to lock the doors. We were in Los Angeles until 1979, but just creepy. And then like after that, I didn't walk out alone again. And when I was walking home from school, oh gosh, just I don't even want to talk about it. It's bad. But I had incidences. Scary. So let me share okay. This one is Politics Girl, and the new evangelicals are on there. And then I want to share Don Lemon. Because it's really, really interesting, but it kind of gets scary because he's interviewing all these. But what's good, I feel like I know he's being nice and to them and really talking to them, and that they'll listen to him, So that's what's interesting. So this is the fire. What's that? Oh, you were. I could have voted for Reagan, but I didn't vote. Yeah, it is their choice. I really like listening to this guy I was listening to on TikTok this morning. I didn't figure out who he was. and I didn't see how many people he had in there. He was pretty much not answering any of my questions, or I was pretty much invisible. I don't know, and I didn't look at how many were there or how big his channel was. I'd like to go back and see, but I think he was in the Philly area, and he's a pastor. And but he said he didn't like that they're sending money for Ukraine and for Israel and not taking care of the vets. But he said that is because and he's like, no Republican president or Democrat president has fixed it, and that it's usually Congress that makes that decision. So this is Don Lemon. But the thing Tennessee Brando said was like, no, it's like a no, and I decided, I'm like, I'm not going to date. And then, I made the mistake. Because you guys, I've honestly been too quiet, too passive, and not speaking up for what I believe. And then I'm getting into this situation where I shouldn't even had coffee with that guy. I should have said, this is a no deal. This is a deal breaker for me. Are you a Republican? Are you going to vote for Trump? Because that's a deal breaker for me. And also what I didn't do is I kind of struggled along too, because I kept talking to him after he said that. And then I should have got up and said, that's nice. I'll see you later. I should have, and all these friends didn't know how strongly I feel about this. And I'm just and I feel so much better, you guys, since I'm speaking out. But I also see too, where for my mental health, and this guy that said, the mean one, the one in Florida that was my brother-in-law's best friend, they're gonna send your baby girls home in bags. This is what this sweet, awesome maggot said to me. And I'm like, that's it, dude, we're done. Because he's an a-hole. Plain and simple. And so again, a verse for Magas. Even a fool is considered wise if you hold your tongue. But you can't hold your tongue, can you? To come in here and say, don't talk politics with friends. I guess Tim did not consider me a friend because he kept on. Yeah, and I feel so much better. But, that maggot, that idiot, and again, he came to my page. He came with the lies, with the MAGA lies that that time Kamala shut down the hecklers. They were saying lies, that they were saying Jesus is Lord. And they made this fake whole fake meme. They've made fake videos where I guess they put it in there, they put in Jesus is Lord. Why would somebody be, and she's not stupid like John, she's not a complete idiot like Donald Trump. She would not say that. If they were saying that, she wouldn't say anything because she's smart. She's a lawyer. Don't mess with her. So I'm going to say the poem about my mom because it talks about standing up for what you believe in. But I'm going to pray for Tim. Not going to vote for him though. But Lucretia's sister was getting annoyed with it all. And I'm like, I'm sorry to leave you. I was glad to have Lucretia's sister there. I'm glad to have someone else, in the same camp as me over here. But I gotta go because I'm not gonna sit here and argue about bleach when there's, I got bigger fish to fry. Hello. Like I said, 7,000, that's pretty cool when I added that up. 7,000 followers. Y'all, I have 7,000 followers across all my platforms. The links are below. Links are below. I got the most followers on Twitter, actually. Bite your tongue. What did I say? What did I say? Not one president has really focused on the U.S. and the people that have elected them. They just want to be the saviors of the world instead of most times. None of them are perfect, but, and when I watched, okay, the link that you sent me, Brenda, that guy, about the 10 things, the 10 reasons why Trump shouldn't be president, or Trump was the worst president. And then he keeps going on, and I think he goes to 100 actually. But it says 10. That guy's channel, he had things about Bush, and it's like, I didn't know. I was really uninformed. And I got mad because my ex voted for Ross Perot, and I think that he would read more, and he would read, he would always be online. He would always be online reading the news and looking at porn. He would read the Drudge Report, but it became 75. Okay, I thought he even went to 100, but it kept going up. He kept doing more and more and more. And but on his site, I watched another. I don't think it was that video, but something about Bush, and I was like, oh, I didn't know Bush was bad. I didn't know. I hate it when I bite my inside of my mouth sometimes. You know what's good for that is if you have some mouthwash. Usually if I rinse with mouthwash, it will go away in like 1 or 2 days when I bite my tongue or bite my inside of my mouth. But somebody commenting on the video I did was, saying something about its freedom of speech. And I was just like, that was just curious. And I was just wondering, I'm like, oh gosh, not another mega mole, because it felt like they were disagreeing with me. And I'm just like, I'm tired of this. It says 6 are watching. Thank you all for being here. I don't have 6 on my list. Who else is here that I need to pray for? See, and what I feel like is, the same thing is Tim took me, they take you off, they throw you off kilter. They get me all riled up, and it's just like, I feel like they're kind of they're disrupting my lives. That's what they're doing. They're disrupting my lives. But he came in here and said, first of all, he came in here and he's the one breaking the rule. I considered him a friend. I still had him as a moderator. He never comes to my lives, but this one he comes to. And, and he's talking politics. So he's the one that broke the rules. And then he says, I can't talk civilly. And he's the one that called Pelosi. That's what I want to find, that thing on Pelosi. And I'm going to share it. Because I was like, oh my goodness, I have been brainwashed about Nancy Pelosi. I was like, wow, she's a badass. And she had someone said something to her too, and she never said it. They said something about like, why, I don't know what they asked actually, but they used the word hate and she shut them down. She's like, don't you use that word? I never use that word. I'm Catholic. I do not hate. I pray for him. That's what she said. And that's just what really got me, because I saw that Warnke pastor, Warnke, the Democrat from Georgia. Let's see the whole thing. I can't find it now. But the video, have any of you guys seen the video where she rips up Trump's speech? It was a State of the Union address, but the explanation of that is Trump gave a award to, like I said, Rush Limbaugh. And he said awful things about Nancy Pelosi, just like Tim just said in my chat. I don't know where the long video is. Let me put long video. You guys probably could find it. Long with 2 O's, so I could find it right. But anyways, you can find it. I wonder if it was on PBS. I think it might be. Pelosi's Power, that's it. It's a frontline thing. Yes, this was it. It was very, very good. But yeah, she got onto him. She got onto him when they said about, you hate something about Donald Trump and you hate him or something like that. She's like, she said to the reporter, I did not say that word. I'm Catholic and I don't like you saying that about me. And she's like, I pray for him. And that's exactly, and it was so cool because I saw, let me do this. And I realized, I'm like, because my brother hated her, and that's why, because he listened to Rush Limbaugh like every day. That pastor, the Democrat from Georgia, he was baited by Jimmy Kimmel too. He's like, so did you apologize to Marjorie Taylor Greene for sending the hurricane to those southern states? Because, she says, the Democrats control the weather. She's so freaking crazy. The song I shared about Trump, the funny song, those two, it's a couple, I think. They have a song about Marjorie Taylor Greene, about her craziness. She's a QAnon, Lucretia's friend or whatever, calling me a nutcase, and it's just like, what did I say the Democrats control the weather? Oh my goodness. No, I did not. Now, where was I going next? Yeah, may he rest in peace. Good riddance. But yeah, so I know what I was going to show. Warren, how do you spell it? I don't know how you spell his name. Jimmy Kimmel. Is he a senator? I'll just put from Georgia. How about that? Will that be it? Come up? Yeah, there it is. Warnock. That's his name. But listen to this. And even after Kimball like baits him and says, "So did you apologize for sending the hurricane?" And like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and all he says is, "I pray for her every day." And I'm like, that is class, and that is a Christian. And childish Trump has any other mature person like and a president, a politician, they wouldn't even have time to watch Jimmy Kimmel. But Kimball and Trump are in like this freaking war because Kimball keeps making fun of him and making jokes about him, and then Trump shares tweets about him. I mean, he's like a child. He's like a little child. We want this man to be in charge of the buttons for the nuclear weapons. I mean, no, people, no. Warnock. He's a pastor. Warmock. Wrong. I'm having trouble here. Okay. It says 7 watching now. Thank you all for being here. I put the subscribers only on for an hour. So unless someone came in and at the beginning, and because I've been going for an hour and 37 minutes. I put it on, you have to be subscribed for an hour to be able to chat in the chat. So if someone's just coming in, let's see, I think I have everybody down. I have Brenda, I have Glenn, I have Tim. Yeah, I think that's everybody. But someone wouldn't say who they voted for, and they said they're private. And it's like, no one's making you comment. You can watch. I do it all the time because I don't have time. And I'm always like thinking, oh, I watched that video and that video, I should comment on it. But I don't always have time. If you want to remain private, just don't comment, But the person that, commented that, it's free speech, Red. And I was just like, that's not really what I was talking about, but okay, whatever. I don't get it. And I'm just like thinking, oh no, not another mega mole. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. You don't want to say, and you don't want to say to me when I'm speaking out about Harris, gee, I wonder who you're voting for. Gee, I wonder. Why would you be ashamed to tell me you're voting for Harris? But anyways, but a lot of different and interesting people on YouTube. A lot. I'm going to read the poem about my mom. Maybe I'll read 2 poems. Let's see. let me read the one about my daughter too. My daughter, I gave her the middle name. My mom, her name is Lydia Ellen, for my mom, and she was blonde hair and blue eyed, just like my mom. Looked just like pictures of my mom when she was little. It was really cool because she's the one that looked most like my mom, and then I had named her after my mom. But yeah, this one is in the 7-story tree. I still haven't sent for my more. And guess what? My computer. Okay, I have this. I have this other. I'm pretty sure it's Maga too. She started getting debating with me about the hell thing, and it's like it's the same thing with that. It's like you're gonna try to debate with me about Trump. You're never gonna freaking like. There's nothing you could say. He's shown me there's nothing you can say about him that would persuade me that he's a good choice. Nothing. But this woman, and it's the same thing with going back to believing in hell. It's like, don't you want to believe? It's kind of like talking someone out of being a Christian, you know? And it's like being a real Christian, because real Christians don't believe in hell. It wasn't even around until 400 years after Christ. It was the Catholic Church's doing. It was Augustine and the book Dante's Inferno and all of that. But it was church politics, as a matter of fact. So this person, and this was, gosh, it was sometime last year. And they run out, they leave these big long comments, and then she started sending me emails, and I blocked her like a long time ago. But recently, you guys, my email says, you have too many emails. Your emails will stop on, now it says like November 23rd. I'm like deleting all these emails, and I'm looking in the trash. These emails from her that I've blocked are still there and taking up space. So I'm like, this was my mistake. This was my mistake. So I'm like, okay. And again, another person that has a YouTube channel, like, girl, leave me alone. Quit wasting your time sending me these emails that I'm not even looking at. And then the one that I ended up commenting on, and then she's commenting me back about it. I'm like, I wasn't talking about that. I was like, take me off your list. It's filling up my, you know, and she's coming back with all this blah, 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 blah. It's word salad. Blah, 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 blah. Like the, you know, Charlie Brown person. Anyways, there's my thing. And so, you know, I had to block her again because I'm just like, stop. She's like, I'm like, because she emails me back, and this is why they suck you in. I feel like they suck you in. She says, oh, it's sad you don't want to get the emails. We really need to pray. Like accusing me of not praying. I'm like, I'm praying for you, you crazy woman. Leave me alone. You know? And oh my goodness. And at first, like, she's sending me all this crap in the email that oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I shared the Midas Touch one on all the crazy mega people. You know that they started wearing diapers, some of them wearing, like, and that's sick. That's sick. He's so unhealthy. A vote for Trump is just a vote for Vance, y'all. He's gonna pass, or he's gonna have to go into a home, and he's just trying to get out of going to prison. And so it was the same way. And I was like, sorry, I even emailed her to try to tell her to stop. And, you know, I'm telling her to stop. I'm like, unsubscribe, stop sending me emails. And she keeps emailing me back. And the original one, she's like, this is not what this is about. I'm like, I'm telling you, I don't read. You're stupid. You know, and hello, Pastor Dean. Do we know? Like, please be kind. We can't call our politicians names. Okay. Um, so the one she sent me, the one that I responded to me, she sends tons and tons and tons, and I'm like, they're all in my trash and they're still taking up room. Like, why, Microsoft? Why? So I don't know if it's Microsoft or Gmail or whatever, but anyways, the one she sent me was Hobby Lobby, and I recently decided I love Hobby Lobby. You know, this journal, I went there recently. I was said before, you know, they were saying, yeah, I knew Tim was conservative because he was boycotting Target. I'm like, I don't boycott these places. I still go to Chick-fil-A. I still go to Target. I did, and I got this one at Hobby Lobby, right? But I recently thought, like, you know, maybe I should stop going to Hobby Lobby because they don't let their employees get birth control. And that was one of the jobs I almost got in Georgia, was at the holidays at Hobby Lobby. And I thought I got it, and then they didn't hire me. I took the math test, and I'm like, did I not do good on that math test? And, you know, they had a bunch of people, I guess, and they didn't hire me. And I'm like, I feel like it was, everything works together for the good. God was wanting me to get out of Georgia, so I didn't get a job there. But anyways, that was one of the jobs I almost got. And so it's about Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby now has occult items. And I'm like, girl, you're not going to be able to go anywhere if you're going to boycott all this crap. You're not going to be able to get anything. There's occult stuff everywhere. You know, it's like, I'm going to put Pastor Dean down on my list to pray for. And I'm going to read the poem about my mom. That's a picture of me and my mom, like 1980. I wrote this poem about my mother, Ellen Olson Hewitt, August 16th, 1929, April 14th, 2009. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Proverbs 31:30. You showed me by example. You showed me by example how to love to read. You showed me by example how to teach and lead. You showed me by example how to stand up for my convictions, even if I stand alone. You showed me by example how to keep the home. You showed me by example how to read God's word. You showed me by example how to pray to God. You showed me by example how to hold on. You showed me by example how to forgive. You showed me by example no one's perfect, but we can rely on the one who is. I hated that poem when I wrote it. I was like, it's too repetitious. It's terrible. And what comforted me was reading her journals, and she wrote, perfectionism is a thief. And I'm like, you're right. And I'm going to read the poem. And I read it at her memorial. And it started because I said, how do you get them to clean up? When my kids were toddlers, I'm like, how do you get them to clean up? She's like, you have to show them. You have to do it with them. You have to do it with them. Because my mom had 7 kids. And so, she's the one that said, and then when I heard Kamala repeat the same thing, it made me cry, y'all. It made me cry. There's TikToks now of women and men. There was a man too. I've seen a TikTok of people getting emotional about this. It's important. It's important. So I suggest Pastor Dean. It's up to you, but if you're a private person, don't share your views. You can just listen. But thank you for saying hello. And yeah. If you don't want to get Red upset, just please don't even tell me you're voting for Donald Trump. If you're voting for Donald Trump, that's fine. That's your choice. But if you don't want to upset Red, don't tell me you're voting for the felon. I don't really want to know. Okay? So, do you have any kids, Glenn? So, I was going to read you the Lydia poem. The Lydia poems in here. I wrote this when she was a baby. I wrote it a long time ago. I have this. You guys, I'm thinking, because it might be lost too. I had this cute thing about how she would say all her words when she was a baby, because it was so cute. She would say, instead of saying please, she would say peace. And you guys, when I made that response to the awful, vile maggot person that said that Harris is going to send my babies home in body bags. That's what maggots say. And my daughters are braver than Donald Trump, because he's a draft dodger. Actually, that's what he is. And my baby girl Lydia is in the Air Force, and Claire Bear was in the Army. But I'm not in contact with Lydia. When I saw that big crowd in Texas, y'all, I started crying. And I was like, I hope she's there. I hope she's there. Oh, you decided not to. Yeah. That's important. It's why I stayed with my husband so long, really, was because of the kids. And I said to myself, I remember saying to myself before, like maybe when Lydia was 9 or 10, I'm like, maybe I'm going to end up divorced when they're in high school. And it was when Lydia was in high school that we separated, and we got divorced in 2018, and she graduated high school 2019. So just in time to miss the pandemic. So this is called Lydia Ellen. Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is his reward. Psalm 127, verse 3. Lydia Ellen, why did I ever want a boy? My mom said boys were easier, which was insane. Maybe when they're little, but not when they're grown. Why did I ever want a boy? My Lydia is such a joy. Actually, I think they're evenly. It just depends on the child. Why did I ever want a boy? My Lydia is such a joy. She says mama and whispers please. She says Ian and Claire. Whatever they do, she replies me too. She's a challenge, my little insomniac, but I would never send her back. She gives me kisses and hugs too. Lydia, I thank God for you. So I texted her the other day, but it was green, so I think that means I'm still blocked, because we had a disagreement about the money from. She was not even in contact with me anymore, and she thought she should get more money from more grandpa money, and I already feel like I gave them too much, and now I don't have enough to put down on a house right now, because I've been spending and giving away too much money. But yeah. But I'm really thankful. And I was thinking about you guys. My parents were Democrats most of their lives, and they did pretty good. You guys, they were in California, and then Florida and Texas. They stayed Democrats, even though they went to red states for a while. They were in Florida for Boca Raton for like from 1979 to 1984 for 5 years, and then they were in Texas from 1984 till 1995. So like about 11 years, 10, 11 years. Then they went back to California. And I'm really thankful for the money I got from I consider it from my mom also, because my mom made sure and told my dad, make it so it goes to the kids and he can't change it. And that's why she gave the will to my sister, so my sister would make sure. And my dad didn't remarry when he got remarried, because you knew he would get with somebody else. And but they didn't get married legally. They got married in the church. Oh, I got a text from Hillary Clinton. Asking for money. But I could say one more. I think I'll say the mom one, as a matter of fact. Page 59. But yeah, I'm really thankful. So my parents did good, and I can remember, kind of wanting like him to blame, because I was still conservative when the recession happened, and I knew my dad had investments. I was like, it's all okay, and he did it like I do mine now, is I have them manage it. So that's good. My parents were good people. And I said, and they're talking over there at Lucretia's about having a gun for, and this crazy Maga that called me a nutcase says, it's good to have an AR, because if a group of people break into your house, you can blow them all away. Yeah, right. And I'm like, oh my goodness, these people are crazy. Yeah, and I'm also so thankful. I'm thankful for my parents, and I'm thankful that I decided to not talk about it with my mom. See, that's different, and that's what I was just thinking today. And I was like, I'm trying to talk to them, and then this Tennessee Brando says this thing like, no, they're not. I'm not friends with them anymore. And then what Tim comes in here and says, friends don't talk with politics with friends. And then what does he do? He gets in trouble because he's talking politics with me. I guess he didn't consider me a friend in the first place then, because he's being hypocritical. So anyways, this thing that Tennessee Brando says, and then this is a bigger issue. This is a different than just choosing between Clinton or Bush, and that this is a big difference. And I'm glad that I decided to not talk about it with my mom, because I didn't know she was going to die so soon. I don't remember what year it was exactly. It was somewhere in the 2000s. 2000, 2005, somewhere around there. I didn't know she was going to pass away in 2009, and I'm glad. But also, these people, Tim, no offense to Tim or Roy, Lucretia, Linda, you're not my mom. And besides, my mom was right that she would never, I felt like she's smiling down on me. She was right. Listen to your mom. Y'all, listen to your mom. So this one is #mom. Have a quote by Abraham Lincoln before this poem. I remember my mother's prayers, and they have always followed me. They have clung to me all my life. Abraham Lincoln. So this #mom. I love you. I cook for you. I wash and dry for you. I pray every day for you. I cry for you. I buy for you. I die for you. I take a grenade for you. Jump in front of a train for you. I stay for you. So if anybody's wondering if your ex was that bad, why did you stay so long? That was why, because of the kids. And again, a MAGA friend in Georgia. Oh my goodness. Hoarder person. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, why am I friends with these people? Hoarder person, friend I made, Christian, in the Christian nationalist. She guilted me for, oh, it's best for the kids and you know what? She was MAGA. It loved Paula White, loved Trump. Hypocrite to say that to me. Oh, I can't get a divorce, but Donald Trump can cheat on his wife while she's pregnant with a porn star and, be married 3. And Paula White's been married 3 times too. They're so awesome. Oh, but you can't get a divorce after being married to this narcissist for 30 years. No, you can't. It's like different standards. Just like, they have this big standard, this high standard for Kamala, and she's under the microscope and every little thing. And I'm like, they're grasping at straws. And so I was glad to leave another fake friend. You guys, I'm done wasting my time. I'm 58 now. I'm done wasting my time being friends with these people. I'm done. No more I called my article about, because that's what got me into trouble with the date rape too. It's what got me into trouble with Muhammad, the green card guy, being too nice. And so what I titled that blog post was, "Look what you made me do." The Taylor Swift song, "Look what you made me do." And she's on the phone because crazy Kanye West called her up, and there's another maggot. He was, anyways. Called her up and tricked her into saying she could talk about he could talk about her in his song, and then he said something else, And so she's like, the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. And so that's why I use that as a title of the thing. It's like, I'm not putting up with this crap anymore. The only thing I could do was speak out about it, And so I did. It was the only thing I could do. I went to the cops. I went to immigration about Muhammad. I couldn't do anything. And the date rapist was a cop in Quitman, Georgia. So I didn't. And I went to his house, and I knew I didn't have anything. There wasn't anything really I could do. So, yeah. But the pen is mightier than the sword. Right? I'm going to pray for y'all. Hey, Eric. Hello. And we are going to pray for Magas, and I will still pray for them. And I have not voted yet, but I'm going to soon. I'm going out again next Saturday. Common people don't matter to them. But I don't think they're all the same. I don't think they're all exactly the same. Yeah, that's right. That's where it started. Their feud started. He was a jerk, and he was drunk. And I love Pink too. Pink chewed him out. I love Pink. I love strong women. They inspire me because I'm wimpy and fearful sometimes. I got this. I got my button. Oh, and I got a not, we're not going back button on Saturday. Oop. Wait. I'm going to have to get something to eat after this. So I read 3 poems. That's not too bad. They're short poems, but anyways, let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for all these followers. Good, Brenda. Thank you for all these friends and followers, Lord. I pray you bless Brenda and her family and be with her. Oh, Lord, please be with Glenn. Bless him. Please bless Pastor Dean. Thank you for him coming in. Please bless Eric and his family. I pray you be with Tim, Lord. I pray that you would wake him up, Lord. I pray you bless Roy and Becky. I pray you bless Lucretia. I pray you bless Linda, especially Linda and the one on Lucretia's Facebook. I can't remember her name. I think it was Vanessa. And especially Frank, Lord. He's a very unhappy, angry person. So is Linda, Lord. I pray that you would just wake them up. Lord, I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for them. But Lord, I pray that you bless them. I pray you'd help me to be kind and patient and choose my battles wisely, Lord, and not get into it. Help me to know, Lord, when not to get into it. Not going to change their minds. Let me just pray for them. And just guide us, Lord. And I pray your protection over Harris and Walls. I pray your protection over Trump and Vance, Lord. All of them. I pray that there would be a peaceful transfer of power, Lord. I pray that you would thwart anything. I thank you for Biden. I know that they are aware of what he could do because of what he did on January 6th, Lord. I just pray that you give them wisdom, that they would be able to nip in the bud anything that these evil groups that support Trump have planned, Lord, the Proud Boys or any of those people. Lord, I just pray that you would thwart them. I pray that you would protect our capital and protect our country. I thank you for this country, Lord. I thank you for the freedoms we enjoy. This is still the best country in the land, and it's not a trash heap, and neither is Puerto Rico. And we thank you, Lord, that immigrants have not taken over the country. And we just pray for our leaders and wisdom. We pray that there would be some sort of solution to getting the vets the help that they deserve for fighting for our country, Lord. We pray that that maybe we know that I feel that Harris is open to suggestions and open to changing things, Lord, that maybe she would start sending less money out, Lord. But also, I heard that they sent 100 troops to Israel, Lord, and we pray that you would protect them and watch over them, Lord. We pray for Israel and for the thing going on in Gaza and the innocent Palestinians that are being killed too, Lord. Our heart breaks, Lord, and we pray for an end to this. And we thank you that we know that one day you will bring peace on earth completely, but we know it's not now, Lord. We just pray that you would be with these people and help them, and the people in Ukraine and the people in Russia. Lord, the world is so sad and our country is so divided. Please help us, Lord. Please. Please let Christians wake up. Please let them read the word where it says the Antichrist will deceive Christians. They're deceived, Lord. Please wake them up. Please let them realize this is not God's man. He cannot be God's chosen one to be the president. He's an ungodly, immoral man. And we pray for him to lose, Lord. Lord, I pray for original Mama Grizzly, who was emailing me. Lord, I pray that you would bless her. I pray that she would stop sending me emails, and I pray that you would open her eyes. I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. You guys, after this, when I get all, it exhausts me. I walked earlier, so I'm glad I got that out of the way. I went for a walk, and so, yes. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. I thank you. I'll share another my verse for the Magas again. Even a fool is considered wise if he holds his tongue. Can you do it? Can you do it? I'm sorry. Watch. Be informed, you guys. Be informed. Don't let anybody brainwash you. Learn about everything. Oh, Elsa's here. Elsa, I'm going to pray for you right now. Dear Lord, please bless Elsa. Thank you for her. We pray you be with her. We pray she is well, and bless her children and her fur babies. And we thank you for her. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. How are you, Elsa? So, yeah. Vote, you all. Do your research. Look up things. I had to look up, the little, that's why I went to that thing on Saturday that was local, because I did not know how to vote on the little, the little bills and the little things, and it's like I have to figure out how to vote on these things because I don't know and I want to be informed and not just, before I would just vote straight Republican ticket. Now I'm straight Democrat, but I've learned about the senators, and it's funny, they just sound all just like mimicking all of the Republican one is mimicking all of Trump's policies, and the Democratic one was mimicking all of Harris's policies. But so I'm for the Democratic one. But all right, I'm going to let you go. You guys, thank you for being here. I'll be back Wednesday. I wonder what we'll talk about. Almost a week from tomorrow, you guys. So vote, be informed, pray. That's most important. Pray, vote. Those are the two most important things. Well, pray, be informed, and vote. Pray, research, and vote. Know what you're voting for, what you're voting against. Very important, historic election. I got a text from my son. Oh, I'm going to cry. He's late, but he remembered my younger son, Ian. He remembered my birthday. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go talk to my son. Y'all, thank you so much. I'm so happy. See, that's why I said my two easiest ones are a boy and a girl. They're my middles. They're my middles. So yeah, Mom wasn't entirely right about that one. Maybe she just thought boys were easier because she had 5 of them. Such a breeze, right? But yeah, it just really broke her heart. Uh, 3 of my brothers had passed away before my mom passed away. So sad. But love y'all. Don't say that no one cares for you because I do and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red because Red is praying for you. Bye. Vote and pray and research. Good night, Elsa. Thank you for coming in.